Do you ever feel like you're just going through the motions? Like your life is missing this sense of vitality and excitement? Or maybe you feel so overwhelmed by stress and anxiety and you don't even know what to do about it. Well, in this video, I'm going to be giving you 5 tips to help improve your mental health and well-being. My name is Dr. Mary Kate Roohan. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist and drama therapist, and I help people by providing tools to improve their mental health. Just a quick reminder, this video is for educational purposes only. I'd love to be able to provide you with 5 quick tips that will help you just be happy forever. The reality is, though, that research indicates that those kinds of strategies don't work in the long run. In fact, in acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT for short, we call this the happiness trap. So we do as many things as we can to try to get to this goal of being happy, and in the end, we don't actually feel very happy at all. So in this video, I'm going to be teaching you strategies that will help you to live a life of vitality and purpose. And you will feel joy and happiness in that life of vitality and purpose, but it's not just some quick tips that are going to get you to the happiness. So the key to emotional health and resilience is not just constantly chasing after happiness. It's actually welcoming all of the emotions and the thoughts that we experience, and then making a deliberate choice about how we want to spend our energy. The strategy I'm going to teach you today is the BRAVE approach to mental health, and it incorporates tools from evidence-based treatments such as acceptance and commitment therapy and dialectical behavior therapy. And you got to be a little brave to try it. The first step is to breathe. So just stop whatever you're doing. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, and notice what is happening on the outside and also what is happening internally. Oftentimes, when we're feeling stressed and overwhelmed, we don't take the time to just stop and notice what's happening. Instead, we do everything we can to stop feeling the discomfort, which might be overeating or over drinking or using substances or over exercising or people pleasing or high achieving or completely avoiding. And while it provides us some relief in the short term, those feelings of discomfort tend to come back. So in this first step, we want to just pause, breathe, and take inventory of what is happening internally. What are my thoughts, my feelings, my sensations, my urges, before we decide how to proceed. Once we've taken a pause to try to get an understanding of what's going on, we want to recognize what our thoughts and feelings are telling us. And more specifically, we want to practice a non-judgmental stance. We usually notice that a lot of judgments have popped up. So we're starting to place good or bad on whatever we're thinking and feeling. Oh, I shouldn't be thinking this way. I should just get over it. Or, oh, it's not appropriate to feel angry right now. So we have these judgments. We place value on whatever we're experiencing. And this is a slippery slope. Because when we start telling ourselves that what we're doing is good or bad or right or wrong, we tend to get more and more and more activated. And next thing we want to do is practice acceptance. Acceptance is a hard one. It is challenging to accept painful realities. Our mind tells us, no, I don't want it to be this way. This isn't fair. It should be different. I hate this. I don't like this. I mean, who would want to accept something painful? The reason why this skill of acceptance is important is because refusing to accept reality actually makes things worse. If we can approach our reality from a compassionate place, telling ourselves it is what it is, even if we don't like it, even if we don't want it to be that way, we experience less suffering. The alternative is to say, oh, I don't want this to be this way. This isn't fair. This should stop. I hate this. Get me out of here. And that just makes us more and more miserable. And so in order to improve our mental health and demonstrate emotional resilience, we need to work on accepting reality as it is, even when we don't like it. Part of that acceptance is sitting with uncomfortable emotions. And so the next step is vowing to be present with the pain. I know it's difficult. It is not easy to tolerate mean thoughts, intense emotions, urges to do things that we don't want to do. It's not easy. Memories from the past, images from the past, it can be really, really painful. However, if we try really hard not to think that thing or feel that way, it doesn't actually work. It just takes a ton of energy. And so if we can vow to ourselves, all right, I'm making the commitment to be with whatever discomfort I feel right now in service of feeling more joy and purpose and vitality in the long run, we are on our way to emotional resilience. Because we have this tendency to struggle with uncomfortable emotions. In acceptance and commitment therapy, we say the struggle switch comes on. So imagine that you are really anxious because you're attempting to fall asleep and you have a big presentation the next morning. Oftentimes what happens is we notice the anxiety and then we think, I shouldn't be having this anxiety. How do I get rid of this anxiety? If I don't get rid of this anxiety, I'm not going to sleep, and then I'm not going to do well in my presentation anymore. And then we get mad at ourselves for experiencing anxiety. And then we get sad because we're, upset that we always get into this pattern where we get too anxious, and on and on and on and on. We're struggling with that emotion. So if we drop that struggle, if we make a vow to say, hey, I have anxiety, it is what it is. I'm experiencing it. I'm not going to try to change it. I'm not going to try to fight it and get mad at it. I'm just going to allow it to be here. That is dropping the struggle. That is the vow or the willingness to sit with the discomfort. And ultimately, when we are able to do this, we tend to avoid this cascading avalanche of emotions and can feel better in the long run. And finally, we want to act in accordance with our values. So we can think of values as our guiding star. They represent the kind of person we want to be, the kind of life we want to live, and they're ongoing. We can always act in a compassionate way, or a humorous way, or a loving way, or a brave way. If we follow the other strategies, where we notice what's happening, we don't judge it, we don't try to fight it, we accept reality as it is, then we have the opportunity to decide how we want to behave. And we can make this decision based on what we care about and what kind of person we want to be. So engaging with our values on a daily basis is going to help us build a life of vitality and purpose. So those are the 5 strategies. And if you'd like a more detailed breakdown of these strategies, feel free to click the link in the description and you'll see an Authority Magazine article that breaks each and every strategy down more thoroughly. All right, have a great day.